Honestly, building a website is the easiest part. The hardest part is driving traffic to their website. What's traffic? Traffic is people visiting your website. There's no point in really having a website unless you're getting traffic to it. So in this video, we're going to go through 9 ways to drive traffic to your website. Stick around for number 9 because it is free and it is not social media based, and it's probably not something that you would expect. Number 1 is actually a really fun one that I came across recently, and this is doing a launch promo. So if you've got a brand new website, you are ready to show it off, maybe you don't have any existing traffic and you really want people to see it, you want people to see your offers, you want them to see all of the new things and the pretty branding that you have organized, do a fun competition to get people in your existing audience, whether that's on social media and your email list, and get them onto your website snooping around and checking it out. This can be something like a scavenger hunt, like hide a few little icons and tell them they have to find them, and then when they find them, enter a competition, and then they can go in to win some little prize as well. It's a really fun way to get engagement. You can share it with all of the people who helped you build the website, and your photographer, web designer, maybe any marketing strategists, social media collaborators, all of that kind of thing. Ask them to share the competition. I'm sure they'd love to get involved because you're also sharing the work that they did as well, and then it helps get people onto your traffic, signing up for your email list, entering your competition, and it's all a little bit of fun. Number 2 is social media. Of course, I can't do this list of 9 without mentioning it. Things like TikTok and Facebook and Instagram. They are tried and true methods of getting in touch with an audience. I will say though, if you are building your audience primarily on these platforms, please always use call to actions. Ask them to go to your website, ask them to fill in a freebie form and get onto your email list as well, because it's all good and well to grow on social media, but if they're not seeing your offers, getting to your website, getting on your email list, what's the point? Also, the social media algorithms can change at any point, so you don't want to get caught short in your business if they decide to do that and you've got a thriving business through your Instagram DMs and now nobody's really seeing much of your content. Get them onto that email list using your website or an email opt-in and start building that sort of momentum there, future-proofing your business. Number 3 is SEO. So this is free as well. This is things like keywords, writing blog posts, all of that kind of good stuff, so that when people type into Google or any search engine, you come up and they find you and they find your content and they find your amazing services. This is quite a long-term strategy, but it works. It does need a lot of research, but especially if you are one that's not into the social media, putting time and effort into your back end of your SEO is going to really pay off. If you're like, I'm not into blogging, so what's the point? Still make sure that you have the basics of your SEO set up for your website. So this is keywords throughout your web pages, answering questions that you think people might be asking about your products and services in sort of an FAQ section. All of that kind of thing will definitely help support your SEO, and you may find that you start getting some organic reach. That's something, if you're hiring a web designer, definitely ask them about SEO. There are different levels of what different web designers are going to do. I offer basic SEO with all of my website packages, so that means that your website is going to be set up with keywords in the right places, with the design structure filled out, with all of the images titled correctly to help support your SEO journey. Number 4 is Pinterest. So I didn't include this in one of the social media parts because it's actually more of a search engine than a social media platform. So Pinterest, again, like the SEO Google route, relies on keywords, and you can actually come up in Google searches for Pinterest pins. I need to do it a little bit more, I will be honest, but I did used to run a blog and Pinterest was huge for my blog. That's pretty much the main way that I got traffic, and I also utilized the traffic I was getting from Pinterest ended up making me rank on Google for a few of my posts, which was really cool. So if you are going to be using Pinterest, do a little bit of research into it, find your keywords, think about how your people will be searching, what type of terms they would look to find your content, and include that in your pin titles, in your pin descriptions, all of that good stuff. I have some recommendations if you are interested in learning Pinterest for people that I really trust in the industry that teach it really well, because there are a lot of sort of rumors around how Pinterest works that people teach that's quite old school, but it is an algorithm. There are ways to hack it, and they do produce papers about their algorithm as well, so you can learn it. It is complicated, but there are some people out there that are dedicated to reading these posts and sharing that. So if you're interested in that, I will put some links in the description for them. Number 5 is YouTube. You're probably watching me on here right now. I included YouTube because it can actually rank in the search results for Google as well. Google now owns YouTube, and you will have often seen these, I'm sure, come up when you have a question and they have suggested videos. This is another way to drive traffic to your website. One place you would include these is in your blog posts as well, and you can create a transcript of your YouTube videos to turn into blog posts. Another place that you would want to drive traffic through your website is making sure that you're including your website in the descriptions of your videos. So if people want to learn more about you, they can, adding a link to your freebies in your description. So if people want to, they can go join your email list as well. Number 6 is LinkedIn. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know a lot about LinkedIn. I don't use it very well, but if your audience is on LinkedIn, if you are a B2B business, then this could be a really great source for you. To really leverage LinkedIn, you're going to be wanting to write blog posts. And once again, as soon as you're writing blog posts, you're creating content. You can then start ranking for your SEO and all of those search terms, and it kind of all mushes together. You can utilize content in so many different ways across different platforms. So don't think of all of these 9 ways as like, oh my God, I now have to make 9 different pieces of content for everything. How can you reuse the pieces of content that you're making across all of these different platforms as well? And LinkedIn is definitely another place that you can do that. Number 7 is guest blogging. So this is you going and talking to another blogger or business owner in your sort of industry that would share a similar audience, or in a different industry that may still share your similar audience, and sharing some of your knowledge and expertise around that area. Guest blogging also really helps you to boost your SEO because it shows that you are engaged with other parts of the internet. Google really likes it. It builds your authority. And this is a really great way to help get in front of another audience. In the bottom blurb, you would include a little about the author section, and that's where you'll link back to your website. So it's not very great practice to be linking back to your own website throughout the blog post itself. This is not a promo. This is you sharing your knowledge and sharing content to really help people out. And then at the bottom, it's like, hey, this is me. This is about me. This is what I do. If you want to learn more, go over here. And so they can that way. There's all sorts of ways you can go about this. You can either go for like media options as well and try to hit some big publications. You'd be really surprised how many are always looking for content. Or you can find fellow bloggers or fellow business owners like in your area and approach them personally with a little pitch and an idea. Number 8, I'll have to say it, this is ads. So of course you can utilize ads to drive traffic to your website. This is not quite as cheap as it used to be, but it's definitely still an effective way to go. I would recommend that if you are going to go with the ads approach, you utilize some of these more organic reaches just to test out your offers first, test out your funnels, make sure everything's working properly before you go and start throwing ads into the mix. This is also a lot more effective if you have an existing audience that you can kind of use to show the ad platforms who you're trying to target. But there's all sorts of ways of going about this, and you can just test ads if you have the budget. Test a $5 a day and see what happens and start driving traffic to your website. Number 9, I'm very excited about this. This is my new favorite way to drive traffic to your website and grow your business. It keeps popping up everywhere for me at the moment, and I wish that I was doing this more sooner. And this is brand collaborations. So what are brand collaborations? Brand collaborations are when you work with another brand on a cool sort of project and then you both share it with your audiences. You do not have to be big to start doing this. You can find someone with a similar audience size or maybe a little bit larger and approach them with an idea. Content is so valuable. You have some amazing skills you can do. Like, don't be afraid of the size of your audience. These sort of intimate brand collaborations have so much value in them from so many perspectives, and including people knowing who you are, finding awareness, and going and visiting your website. So what are some sort of brand collaborations that you could maybe do? You could do workshops. It depends on what your sort of business is, but you could do workshops with another brand. So 2 brands that are really complementary to each other, and then you could create some kind of workshop together and present that to both of your audiences. Could do a workshop just for another brand if they want content and you're like, hey, I have this idea, would you like me to do this for your audience? They introduce you, you share that. You are a product-based brand, you could do a product collaboration. You could make a product together. That's going to be a huge one. Maybe you just do a bundle and put all of your products together. This works for both digital businesses as well as product-based physical businesses. Service-based businesses, maybe you do a design collaboration together, all kinds of things. Blogging definitely comes under this category, podcasts, YouTube channels, all of that kind of good stuff wherever content is. If you want to link social media in, maybe you both do takeovers of each other's audience. Maybe you both do a weekly series of something, of tips or something that you do together to share with your audiences. Maybe you both do an exchange in fitness classes so that your audience gets the value of experiencing a slightly different style to your own. So it really adds value to your current audience and also tries to get you in front of new audiences with similar motivations. So many things you could do. You could do physical events as well, in-person events, digital events. The world is your oyster. Just go out and find brands that you're really interested in, compliment them, ask if they'd like to collaborate, make it short and sweet, and then when they say yes, get to collaborating and have some fun. I hope you found these helpful, these 9 ways for getting in front of a new audience and getting your traffic to your website to help you grow your business, boost your traffic, and ultimately get more revenue. If you enjoyed this content, please leave a big thumbs up. It really helps us so much. This is a new channel and it helps me so much when you share and like. So thank you for your support. So make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already so that you get notified of future videos. But with that being said, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your week and I can't wait to see some of the ways that you build your websites and by driving traffic to them.